Alrighty. The lift is installed. Has been for some time now. It's been aligned and everything. Oh yeah. Look how straight up and down that tire is. Damn. It was real bad bowed inwards before. That's what it looks like up under there. Get a little bit closer. Yeah. Let's take a closer look. Up in here we got our cool looking shock with a neat bright blue shock boot. Kind of hard to see, but oh, hold on. Let's come down this way. That's a brand new caliper, new bushing up there. So it's got new ball joints, Moog, of course. New caliper, new rotors, hardware, everything. Basically, it's completely new up here. I've got Timken bearings in them. Did that a while ago. Extended brake lines, skyjacker. And it's just dangling there. But it doesn't move much. I might fix it. Might not. It doesn't seem to affect it. And I'm not sure I give a shit. So, yeah. Other side, largely the same. Looks like we got the brake line moved a little bit. I might zip tie that in place. So it, about like, no, I can't really do that. Nope, it'll just dangle. Anyways, this one actually fits properly to the plate, how it's supposed to. But the other one, because of that little adapter in there, it can't bolt back on. So I have to do something special to fuck around with that and make it work right. New springy boys. Let's come on back here. Take a look at the back. We've got some good old mismatched U-bolt nuts because the kit came with a pair of bad nuts. You ever have a pair of bad nuts? Well, I got a pair of bad nuts on my truck. Or rather, I almost did, so I had to replace them. So, there's the shock up under there. Oh, I forgot to show over here. The shock comes a little close. I haven't checked it. Oh, a bit close to my exhaust there. You can see that's a silicone shock boot. It hasn't melted at all as far as I can tell, but I haven't driven much. There's the single brake line that comes down over here. So there's enough slack in it. Should be fine. I ended up accidentally, kind of hard to see, bending this brake line, but it's not leaking, so it's all good. The existing U-bolts, I had to, I had planned to cut them off in the first place, but I wanted to relieve the tension off of them, right? Because I don't like the idea of cutting anything that's under tension, especially metal, because, you know, could fucking explode or some shit, I don't know. But I didn't want to cut them at first, but I ended up taking an extension on my breaker bar. Like, I made it like probably 5 foot long, and I was sitting there struggling, just pushing with all my weight, which isn't much, to break those nuts loose, and they stayed stuck no matter how many times I turned them. So I ended up cutting them off, and when I looked at them after I had pulled them off, I already taken them to the scrapyard, or I'd show you. The threads moved with the nut. It was completely seized. Like, it straight up almost broke the bolt itself just by spinning the nut. So I ended up not relieving any tension off of the other side and just cutting them, and that's how I bent my brake line like an idiot, because I cut the wrong one first, so it leaned towards it, grabbed a hold of that brake line, and fucking ripped it. But luckily it's just bent a little. It's not broken or anything. But see, it's kind of hard to tell in video, but it is significantly taller. I completely forgot to measure the wheel well height before I started working on the lift. So that was a pretty big oversight on my part. Oops. But anyways, it is now approximately armpit height for me at this point on the hood. I got pictures. I'll post the pictures in the chat. But yeah, just washed it yesterday. It's all clean, like. You can see all the blemishes in the paint. Probably not on this video, but there's a ton. Like where my little shopping cart bumper used to be, you can see it kind of ripped off the top coat of paint with the tape. The double stick tape that was holding it on. I wish I hadn't had to rip it off, but it was all coming off anyways, so it's either leave half of it on and looking shitty, or, well, less than half of it actually, or pull it all off and make it at least look uniformly shitty, right? I'd rather look uniform. Still haven't taken the tape off on this side, but I'll get to that. I'm probably going to replace this door, so probably, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'll decide if I give a shit when I get to that point. Gotta fix the hinge first. So yeah, that's the new lift. It's got fully rebuilt brakes, front and back now. New parking brake cables. I've flushed the brake system. It's got all nice and clean fluid in it. Rides like a dream now. It's a rough ass 3/4 ton Ford Dream. So more like a nightmare, really. Nah, no, it's way better than it was. Like, so much better. But it's still, you know, strong ass springs. So yeah, that's the lift there. The next thing on the list. What's the next thing on the list? Who knows? I might give an update. Might not. I don't know. She looks pretty good. From this side, about 30 feet back, and back up a little bit where you can't get too close and see. I'm gonna get some new headlights. That's a requirement. That one's set in stone. That's happening. I may need to get a new, if you look real close, you can kind of see right here. This gap right here lines up perfectly, right? But over here, alas, it does not. That's because the plastic panel behind it is broken. There's part of it that's broken. I don't know if you can see that. Broken. Yeah. And also, of course, that's broken. So, but yeah, new full clip right here. New chrome surround. All this. I think the chrome's fine here. Yeah, chrome's fine here. But that's all gonna get fixed one way or another, whether it's baling wire or what, who the fuck knows. My wiper arms will be painted. That's easy. What else? What else? I still don't have a door key. I like to live dangerously, so yeah. Anyway, I can't think of anything else, guys. If you have any questions, you know, let me know, and I will be sure to address them. We've got this cruddy panel here. There's plenty of stuff to do. Plenty of stuff. But I'm gonna go run to Fairfield. So thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. Just kidding. Nobody gives a shit. I almost forgot to mention the most important thing that I fixed. You can't even tell that I fixed it because it's so fixed and I'm such a professional. Look at that. Look at that fucking bullshit. I didn't do that. That was already there. They fucking welded the seat back together. Yeah. So the seat leans outwards a little bit, and it was really, really bad leaning towards this corner right here because this bolt, I can't even see the screen, so I don't know if you can see it, but that bolt in there, I was told that some fat ass is the previous owner of this vehicle, so that's why the seat's so worn out, because I mean, like, look at that, it's flat on this side, and it was broken through the floor. So let's take a nice look at that, what that looks like now. Yeah, there's some bolts up in there because I'm not a welder, so I can't weld. So I'm not even a grinder. So anyway, so what I did was, since the metal sort of substructure here, this sort of like beam, was completely broken all the way back to right about that sort of bent part, all the spot welds were completely separated from the actual bed pan. You can see that it cracked right there as well. Sorry, my shaky hand. So it broke all the way up to that mount, that body mount. It was completely broken. You can kind of see it here. It's broked, very broked. So that was just dangling under there, and their solution to keep the that worn bed mount from making the cab lean sideways, because, you know, fat ass driver side's on the left side, so it was leaning to the left. Right here, this little slot, they had a piece of 1/4 inch bar stock. There's what's left of it, kind of dangling down there, welded to the frame. So the cab had a hard connection from this beam to the frame itself, and the cab floats on top of these rubber bushings. Rubber bushings move, so you had a physical hard connection right here to the frame that does not move, with a part that moves right next to it. And so what it ended up doing was the cab, you know, flexed to one side, and the force transferred from the frame not moving to the cab moving, and broke this sideways. So it completely ripped the beam, the structure, out from underneath the seat, and which is just fucking great for somebody who can't weld to have to try and come back and fix. Yeah, it looks real fucking shade. But anyway, so they broke that off. So I drilled a bunch of holes through it, naturally, make it stronger, right? The more holes you drill, the stronger it is. Yeah, I think that's how it works. So I drilled holes through where the spot welds were, or in between them, depending on how they got ripped out, and ran bolts through it, and bolted it back on. And it is so much better now. It was so bad. So bad. Like, even just my lightweight butt, freaking, I only weigh 145 pounds, and I was flexing through the fucking floor like an inch and a half. It was really bad. But you can see the beam itself, since it broke off, it was only the floor pan itself that actually broke, as far as like cracks and stuff in it. The beam structurally is still just fine. It just needed to be reattached. And I mean, it's still not as good as it would be if it was welded, but it doesn't flex at all now. So there's that. I don't really have a way to show you that it doesn't flex, but there's a fuckload of bolts, and they're going through the beam, and it bolts back up. It's still a little sideways because obviously, you know, you can see that the way that was welded, it broke, and then they set it next to it. It set it next to itself and then welded over top of it, instead of doing something like putting a piece of flat metal and welding it, or, you know, not being a cheap ass and buying a new seat, which I am going to do, because this seat is still massively uncomfortable. As you can see, I've got my high-tech lumbar support here, a couple of hoodies folded up real nice, make it not murder you when you drive it, so murder your lower back. Anyway, need a new pedal cover. But yeah, that was, I completely forgot about that. So much better now. So much better. It feels like a whole new truck. Doesn't sound like it though. But it feels like it. And that's the important part, right? Comfort. So I got a 3/4 ton, so it can beat the shit out of me down the road. Anyway, thanks for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get notifications. Yeah, because I need those notifications. I gotta get all that YouTube monetization money, right? Yeah, okay.